Okay, this is the last video in the series on sentence structures. So this is video number 4, and we're focusing on fragments and run-ons. Now that we've learned about the idea of the separate parts of the sentences and putting them together and how to label the different types, now we go with the idea of if it's not a complete sentence or if it's too much of a sentence, what do we call it and how do we fix it? So we're going to start with fragments. A fragment is an incomplete sentence because it is missing parts. So it's missing either a subject or a verb, or sometimes both, but very rarely both. Most of the time it's actually missing a subject. Just because it's missing a subject, though, doesn't mean that it's a fragment if it's an imperative sentence. Because remember, an imperative sentence has that implied subject. Those aren't fragments. Okay, so keep that in mind. Sentences that use only dependent clauses would also be considered fragments. Okay, loves ice cream. The idea here is that this has the subject, or sorry, it has the verb, but it doesn't have the subject. In order to fix this, you need to add a subject. So you can put she loves ice cream, he loves ice cream, Sally, Stephanie, whatever, but it's that idea of being able to add in that subject before it. Toys of all kinds thrown everywhere. So toys is our subject, and this is our prepositional phrase, but it's missing information. So it's missing the idea of what comes next. What happened to those toys of all kinds that were thrown everywhere? So it needs more information in order to have that aspect there. Okay, so it has a subject, but and it does look like it has a verb, but it's still missing the other information. It's missing the more information to tell you what's going on with it. Okay, so run-ons. A run-on is where multiple sentences are stuck together incorrectly in one sentence. So everything is smashed together. It's missing punctuation. It's missing conjunctions that help join the sentence together. You can fix this in one of 3 different ways. You can use a period to make it several different sentences. You can add a semicolon between clauses. So we talked about earlier that idea of the compound sentence and how you can join it with the semicolon, or you can join it with this third option, this comma and the fanboys. So you have these options on how to fix it, to make it either that compound sentence or to make it that complex sentence, or in some cases the compound complex, depending on the wording that's there. So making sure that you're using the correct conjunctions and the correct punctuation to fix it. So looking specifically at the examples for this one. So we have a run-on sentence. Stephanie played the piano. Sally went to the store. So it's a run-on sentence because it's missing some sort of punctuation between the 2 independent clauses. So going off of from the previous slide, going off of the correction possibilities, the first one was to add a period and to make 2 separate sentences. The next one was to add a semicolon because they both fit in with the same ideal. So this can happen as well, or to add a comma and a fanboys. Okay, so either one is correct. So these 2 sentences, numbers 2 and 3 options, would actually be compound sentences, and number 1 would be 2 simple sentences because we're separating them with that. So all 3 of these are correct, and that's one of the good things about run-ons, because if it shows up on a test or a quiz and you're told to fix it, there isn't one definitive way to fix it. As long as you're fixing it in one of these 3 ways, you are fine with how it is being fixed. You fix it how you are most comfortable fixing it, unless there's a specification that says not using a period. Okay. Okay, the last slide here is our last confidence check. So I want you to write these samples in your notes like we have been doing with the previous videos, and I want you to label them as either a sentence, a fragment, or a run-on. That's the first part. If it is a fragment or a run-on, I then want you to fix it in your notes. Okay? Fix it in your notes. Make sure there are only 3 samples today, and there is the possibility that one of these could be used. There's the possibility that all 3 are used. Make sure you look at the sentence and you pay attention to what is going on there, and we will discuss it and use it as a major part of class tomorrow. Okay? Have a great day and see you next time.